Hello, everybody. Welcome again to a weekly workshop. Today, we're going to cover a really interesting topic that is how you can use social media information. In this case, we're going to cover LinkedIn to qualify leads, to create personalized copy, um, how you can extract that data from LinkedIn, how you can use it from LinkedIn using Clay and using other tools. Today, we also be sharing this. We'll be sharing this workshop with Julia. Here he is. Here she is. Hey, Julia.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How is everyone today?
Doing great. Doing great. We're expecting you guys. So
I'm
we just start. We just started. We were introducing the topic. How about you? How are you doing?
good. I think my Wi-Fi is not working too well because you keep cutting out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think it's finally connected now.
All right. All right. So welcome to this space. We host these workshops every week. Today, Mark won't be joining us because he's feeling Uh, not good today. He's in bed resting. But we're going to cover a really interesting topic that is how you can use social media information, like from LinkedIn, to be able to qualify leads, to find opportunities, to create personalized messages. And we're going to talk about how you can use Prospero for that. Um, and other tools as well as Clay, as always, we mentioned that. So, quick intro. Julia, do you want to introduce yourself as well for
Sure.
the
I
audience that
actually
don't know
can't.
who you are?
I Yeah, I can only really see myself actually, so I don't know. I can't see the audience's faces, but for everyone who is there, I'm
Oh, yeah.
Julia. It's nice to meet you online. I work at Prospeo. I've been working at Prospeo for probably about 4 months now. So what I do at Prospeo is partnerships, and I work with our other partner who I think is attending. He's just a little bit late. One of his other meetings ran late. And we work in social media partnerships, so lots of LinkedIn work, lots of YouTube work. My background is actually in medtech, so the BB SaaS space is a little bit new for me. It's a little bit of a career pivot, but I don't know. I feel like I've hit the ground running, and I'm pretty excited to be here.
That's awesome. Welcome. We are really grateful that you show up and you share as well. Yesterday, as we spoke, some of the new releases that you're about to launch, or what are the expectations of Prospero as well. So happy to
Yeah.
connect with other tools leaders.
Hmm. I can share a few. Some of them are still under construction. Like as you know, with developers, things always take a little bit longer than expected. But we do have a few list building features rolled out in V2. So I can't say too much, but I'll just say that we are adding a few features where instead of just using Prospeo to import lists and verify it, you can do a little bit more in-house lead generation. So list building and the verification all in one step. So just to make it a little bit more seamless for users, so they don't have to use,
That's awesome.
like a few of the competitors first, and then come into Apollo or Prospeo, and then we're just trying to cut those people out to start. So just make a little bit of a more seamless um, experience for users.
That's awesome. Hold your thoughts there. We're gonna cover a really specific part of introducing the audience what is Prospero, because some of them might not know what is the tool, how it looks like, what's the benefit of using it.
Okay,
So
perfect.
we're gonna cover that as well. So far we have 12 attendees. I know
Oh,
that you are not able to see it. This is a new
I
platform that we are using, but they are seeing us and they can leave us any comments in the chat. So if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We're gonna cover that later. So,
perfect.
all right, we can start. I have a quick question for you guys. You can answer it in the chat. My question for you is: are you using LinkedIn profile information to qualify to create copy? Right now, in this year, you have availability of I don't know how many data sources, but it is amazing the amount of data that you can collect and transform in Clay or in any tool to be able to qualify and to create copy. So if you're not doing that right now, probably you are missing a good opportunity here. And that's what we are going to cover today, how you can start doing that, how you can activate the data that you already have, from social media, in this case, from LinkedIn. So if you have any questions about it, just drop it in the chat. We'll happy to address it. How many of you are using LinkedIn profile information? Love to know that. Okay, let's move on in the meantime. For the ones that doesn't know who we are, with Mark, we are the founders of Automate RevOps. We are leaders in the RevOps and GTM space, in which we have helped our clients to generate more than 160 millions in pipeline by helping them implement Clay workflows and automated their task of their SDR teams and so on. So they can start deploying their own workflows and managing their own workflows, as easy as delegating it as an external provider, but instead of doing that, having full control of their systems. We have been creating this community as well in Slack, in our LinkedIn platform, as well as we share content on LinkedIn, in our newsletter as well. We're about to release a blog as well, so uh, tune into our newsletter to know all the recent news about RevOps, GTM, and automation. And we are some of the few Clay experts that really focus on training and enablement. So this is kind of our specialization, and we really are happy to share our thoughts with you every week with these type of workshops. Today, the promise for you guys is that you're gonna leave this workshop knowing how you can enrich LinkedIn data, how you can activate that data to qualify and to create copy. And we're gonna share with you as well the template that we're gonna create together today, facing a specific challenge. So the main problem that we see among a lot of users is that they are currently not doing this process automatically, or they are doing it but they are not activating all the data that they get from different providers. Is that if you are doing it manually, probably you're wasting a lot of time doing it. If you compare it to a competitor that might analyze 5,000 leads per day using enrichment solutions and Clay and AI to analyze the data, if you're not doing that, you're probably being left behind. So the idea of the activation of this data will bring you the power of scale your operations, but also increase effectivity of your operations, because you will be able to do things that probably you weren't able to do before. So that's why you need to have an integrated system that can help you to scale up. And today we're going to talk about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is one of the most biggest social media platforms today, and it's growing really fast. And they have certain particularities that we think that are making it really special. That is, through LinkedIn, you can interact with leads through different touch points. So you can send them a message, you can connect with them, you can endorse their skills, you can visit their profile, you can comment on their post, you can like on their post, you can react. There are many, many things that you can do in LinkedIn to keep being connected with the leads. And you also have the capability to access to the whole information that you have on LinkedIn. So you can monitor leads, activities on LinkedIn, like being able to know if they are following a certain company, if they are interacting with your content, and so on. But that's not all. I mean, with LinkedIn, although it's not, it's a violation of their policies. You can automate a task. If you do it safely, you will be able to increase the coverage and send more messages and increase the amount of leads that you cover, just by start doing automations on LinkedIn. So you can scale up your LinkedIn operations by adding more profiles, by adding more tasks. And that's make it really interesting because you have full control of the data, and you can analyze what is working and start improving it over time. So what we see and we always said in these workshops is that if you can automate like 80% of the work that doesn't generate revenue, let's say tasks that are related to qualifying leads or to create copy, uh, you will be able to recover that time and invest that time into tasks that actually generate revenue. And in LinkedIn, that means that you can spend more time into actually creating conversations, nurturing conversations, and being able to spot new opportunities, create content. And there are many use cases that your reps can do, so they can start investing more time into those tasks and generate more revenue to the team. Just as a simple breakdown, if you decrease the amount of time that you invest on data intensive work that we just mentioned it, you will be able to increase the amount of leads that you can process for 4x. And that's a great objective for you guys this year. So, the challenge that we're going to face today is how to enrich leads from LinkedIn to detect opportunities. So, we're going to create like a full end to end workflow that reach out to active LinkedIn users with budget. So, we need to be able to know if they're active, I mean, the users are active, but also we want to know if they have a budget available for your solution. And that's really important because if you are not targeting the correct people, I mean, if you're targeting people that are not active on LinkedIn, think it as you're targeting um, mailboxes that are not used. I mean, that's why we have for cold email these strategies to increase deliverability. For LinkedIn, it's almost the same. You need to increase the deliverability, but instead of trying to validate the email, you need to validate that these users are active on LinkedIn before sending them into a sequence. As well, we need to qualify they have budget to invest in your solution, and we need to find the contact data if we want to cover like a multi-touch point sequence and send the messages to them. So in order to do that, we need to have a strong system, a meta system that will be able to connect all the different enrichment solutions and all the different data points. So you can qualify leads automatically, you can create copy, and you can send them to a sequence in no time, and being able to scale that operations by increasing the amount of leads that you process, or just replicate the template and adding different ICPs to the same template. So Clay is that solution for you, and we're gonna share with you how you can create that table in Clay, so you can source, in this case, leads from LinkedIn. You can enrich it using Prospero to be able to find more data available to qualify leads or to create copy. As well, you're gonna find the contact data using Prospero enrichments. You're gonna being able to process data using formulas or AI to create copies, to create qualifications, and then finally integrate that data that you created, uh, let's say a message and all the contact data, to a sequence tool that can be Get Sales, that is a safe sequence tool for LinkedIn messages. So what is Prospero? For the ones that doesn't know what is Prospero, I wanted to introduce you to Prospero. Julia can add more insights about it. Probably she had more knowledge about new features and features that probably I don't mention it. But for us, Prospero is one of the coolest tools available for enrichments because it not only give you access to um, LinkedIn data because you can enrich LinkedIn profiles using Prospero, but also it's a great email finder, and also it has the capability to find the mobile phone of a lead. So by using just one tool, you will be able to replace your usage of credit credits and decrease the cost of running it by subscribing to Prospero, and instead of using credit credits, and you will cover different topics like enriching the profile, getting the mobile phone, and getting also the email. And they have a huge coverage. So I don't know, Julia, if you're still there. I'm not seeing there right now. or she might
Hi,
be
David. Can you hear me?
having
I
some
just had to
issues.
turn my microphone off or my recording off because of the Wi-Fi. It was glitching a little
Oh,
bit
all
on my
right.
end, so I just turned it off so it can go a little bit smoother.
Okay, we can hear you. You want to add anything else as a Prospero introduction? What other features do you have? What other benefits Prospero have? We talked about how
Mm,
frequent you update the records. So I wanted to leave you this space to introduce
mm.
Prospero as well to the audience.
Yeah, thanks, David. I think you did a really good job just mentioning a brief overview of us. But for anyone in the audience who hasn't used Prospeo yet, hopefully after this you might check it out. But our main value prop is the data accuracy. So with a few other, of the competitors or a few other of the platforms on the market, sometimes they don't have accurate data. And we know that, when we're doing outreach, it really matters if our data is accurate or not. Otherwise, bad data means wasted time. So that's kind of the value prop at Prospeo. I won't say too much about V2 because it's still a little bit hush hush, but for right now, you can use like the features that we have on Prospeo.
That's awesome, Julia. Regarding regarding the precision that you mentioned, that is really important. I wanted to highlight that when you are enriching, for instance, a LinkedIn profile using Prospero API, you get the data from real time. I mean, it's more fresh than if you do it through other providers. That's
Mm.
correct, Julia, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can turn my camera on. So let me just hopefully it still goes. Feel like it was
Yeah,
glitching a little bit.
we can see it.
Yeah, so a little bit again, I have a med tech background, but from what I know, in like the most dumbed down terms possible, a few people on the market have what's called static databases. So they will collect information either like monthly or quarterly or even yearly. So Zoom Info is a really good example of this. Like as soon as you subscribe to the platform, you get a full list of leads that are, I don't know, like a million leads. It's probably unlikely that all of those are accurate data or somebody might have switched jobs, therefore their email switched. So that's kind of the difference between a few of the platforms that give you what's called like static data. They have these static databases versus Prospeo. Whenever you're looking for an email, we just send out a verification to make sure that that email exists, and you only really pay for the API call that you send out. Versus if you're on one of the other platforms, you're paying for that whole list, and some of those, we call it like dirty data. Some of that data isn't accurate or it hasn't been refreshed in like 6 months. So obviously we know that's really important when you're doing outreach.
Yeah, totally, totally. So, if you really want to have this refresh process, you need to be able to use tools like Prospero, because else you will be wasting a lot of money and credits getting data that are not fresh. And if you send an email to someone that's not using that email anymore, I mean, that's a huge pain. Yes.
Yes.
So that's why we always partner with tools that are we trust and we recommend, and that's why Prospero is here. And for you guys that want to start using Prospero, we have this link that we're going to share with you later, so you can create an account and get 20% extra credits. So you can replace the usage of quick credits. Instead of using quick credits, you can use Prospero API calls, and you will decrease the cost of running your enrichments in Clay. So let's go into the task of today. First action. Remember that we want to reach out to active LinkedIn users with budget. So we're gonna find the list of leads. We're gonna qualify these active profiles using Prospero information, qualify budget availability as well. We're gonna find contact data and we're gonna send messages to them. So I'm gonna show you some cool ways that you can do it as linear as possible and with a fewer budget as possible, because with Prospero enrichment you will be able to activate a lot of data. I'm going to show you that today. So first task, if you want to enrich a list of leads that you get in Clay, let's go into Clay. I have prepared this template for you. You can access to it later. I'm going to share the template for you guys again. So let's say we want to find a list of leads. Here in Clay, you have the capability to use this Find People feature. This is really similar to LinkedIn. It's really similar to Apollo. It's really similar to any, people finder that you need to just select in the filters what you're looking for. So in this case, I'm gonna find I will try to find people that are, um, let's type it, RevOps, GTM, in their job title. So we have people that are GTM advisor, GTM partners, group partners. So I want to simplify this because this is not the main topic here. But if you want to really explore how you can use the filters, there's a cool tutorial in the Clay University that they teach you how to fill out these filters. I every time that we use these filters, we try to always segment by location, job titles. In that case, you can use keywords, but also keywords to exclude job titles. And think that if you are increasing the coverage of people that are grabbing into that table, probably some of them will be false positive. That means that uh, although they have that keyword in their job title, you will need to filter them out later. In the other side, if you are too narrow and you just use keywords that are going to bring you really specific job titles, you're going to miss some leads that were left out because they have different job titles. For instance, if I'm looking for a GTM engineer, but I just type GTM engineer, I might lose the opportunity to find this guy, for instance, that is a head of GTM that might be this GTM of the engineer of the company, you know? So that's why we recommend to, if you have time, to be more broad. I mean, to have more false positives in the table and then qualified in the table. In this case, let's use these filters to find these leads as well. You can go into this profile filter that is really useful to find the amount of connections and followers. One thing that we need to know every time that you want to launch a campaign targeting people on LinkedIn is that it's really important to find active profiles. So to find active profiles, we have like a standard procedure that we're going to share with you later, and this table is explained. But one first thing that we exclude are people that have less than 500 connections, because those people might be just starting with LinkedIn or they are not active users on LinkedIn. So if you set a minimum of 500 connections, you're going to see that it decreases a lot the amount of leads that you get from that import. And those leads are going to be more active than the other ones. All right. As well, you can add any other filters here. Let's say I want to just use the ones that are in the United States. And now I have 16,000 leads that I can add to this existing table here. So every time you add leads from this find leads feature, you will see this first column that is a column with all the data set included. So if you click on any row, any cell, sorry, you have all the data set of the LinkedIn profile, URL, name, domain, last name, location, and the latest experience and the company that you work for. But what you are not seeing here is more information about the profile, like the description of the profile. You don't know how many followers or how many connections they have. We don't know if they shared any posts recently. We don't know their email. We don't know. There are lots of information that you don't know from this database. So that's why you need to go back into an enrichment process to be able to get that data so you can use it later. So in this case, we have get the leads. Now we need to enrich it to find information that we're going to use to qualify those leads. And that's where Prospeo have this cool feature that is already integrated into Clay, so you can run it on your own Clay credits, or you can use your API key like we are using our own here to decrease the cost of running this enrichment. And this enrichment, find work email and enrich person from LinkedIn URL, is really useful because if you want to get the person LinkedIn profile, you have in Clay the capability to use this feature that is called enrich person. But this feature will only bring you the profile information. If you use the enrich company, you will get the company's information, but you don't get the email. In this Prospero enrichment that is find work email, I think it's find work email and enrich enrich person from LinkedIn, you're gonna find not only the personal information, also you're gonna find the company information, and also you're gonna find the email. So you're gonna find free assets that you're gonna use for those for your campaign at the same cost of your credits. So 2 credits. But if you're trying to find the enriched person, it's going to cost you 1 credit and enrich the company 2 credits. So Prospero will be more effective in terms of credits and also will be more effective in terms of creating a linear process for you to get that data. And if you're able to subscribe to Prospero, you're going to run those enrichments even cheaper than using credits. So let's run this enrichment so you know how it works. Let's run for 100 rows. And you're gonna see, as Julia was explaining, that Prospect is gonna retrieve the data in real time. I mean, they're gonna check that data, so it can take a few seconds there, but it's gonna retrieve you the full LinkedIn profile, the company LinkedIn profile, and the email of that lead. So here we have first results here, and this is the data set that we have that have the job title, the summary that they have on the LinkedIn profile. We know as well if they're using LinkedIn Premium, all the skills they have, work experience, education, languages, current job year, a month, so you know if it is a recent job or not. You have the email. If they found the email, you have it in there. You have information about the company. This is the company LinkedIn information. This is really useful to qualify leads because if you're using find people, you won't find the company data, but here you will find it. As well, I'm gonna mention for you how many emails prospects have from this company, and you have the location of the company, location of the lead as well, and the amount of followers and connections. So by using that data, we will be able to move forward into qualifying active LinkedIn accounts. So if we want to do it manually, you need to assess how many connections that people have, if they recently have posted, if they are using premium, if they have followers, what is the most recent time that they updated their profile. So if we want to know all that, using Prospeo, you can create, I mean, I'm going to share this template with you, but you can create your own process. In this case, we have this formula here. I'll show you how it was built, that calculate the creator activity score. So this is kind of an insight that we have that improves deliverability for LinkedIn, that in this case is excluding people that have less than 500 connections. So those people might not be active on LinkedIn. If they have more than 10,000 connections, probably they have delegated that account to someone to create content for them, or they are a content creator. So if you want to target those content creators, that would be a different type of campaign. But for most of us, we don't want to target content creators, but decision makers. And most of the decision makers are not this type of content creators or leaders in the content industry, you know. If they have between 500 and 10,000, this is kind of the sweet spot here. But you want to find that people that have a ratio that they are traditional worker, that means that they have, um, let's say, up to three more time followers and connections. And then we have active creators that have more followers, more than 3 times more followers than creators. So you can use this type of insights to analyze if the list is, I mean, you can use that list to be able to find leads that are active and qualified. The other thing that you can check out using prospect data, it's the most recent change in the work experience. So if you find here the start date and you have all the recent dates that they started a new job, you can get that data so you know what is the most recent date that they updated their profile, And by knowing that, you will be able to know if they are active on LinkedIn as well. As well, you can use that data to identify budget triggers. So, for instance, if someone have just arrived to a new role, probably that person will gonna be more active. I mean, in terms of investing in new solutions, that other type of profiles. So that's another indicator here. And the other one that we have here is the profile completeness index. That's also a good way to evaluate if they are if they have a profile complete. So if they have the summary complete, the education, skills, picture, and work experience, probably that will be a person that's going to be more active on LinkedIn than someone that doesn't have anything or just have the profile picture. So you can score from 1 to 4. Let's say in this case, the score, so you know if that person is active or not on LinkedIn. As well, you're gonna know if they are using premium. So if you're paying for premium, probably they are using it for lead generation. So that's another indicator that you can know that they are active on LinkedIn, and probably they are using it for lead generation. So by having that data, oh, I have a yeah. So by having that data, you will be able to create a column here that is also calculated column that's gonna bring you all the qualified leads using the using a match of different criteria. So in this case, it's only output true if the creator activity score, I mean, the amount of followers and connections they have, uh, does not contain inactive or delegated. So we don't want to reach out to people that are inactive or that have delegated their LinkedIn account, because we won't be reaching out to the correct persons. As well, we want to know the profile completeness index, and the premium account is activated. If that's true, I mean, we want to target those leads. Or if the most recent found date in their work experience is newer than the last 60 days. So those can be the criteria that you use to qualify active LinkedIn accounts, that if you want to do it manually, it can take you like a lot of time reviewing each profile one by one. But if you're doing it through an automated system, enriching the data using Prospero and then using Clay to analyze it, as you know here, as you are seeing here, this whole table is working and it's working automatically. I need to make a quick change here because I forgot to save this formula here. Um, Let me change it. When we are analyzing the active profile, we were asked to use PCI score, and here we have PCI score, and we have an extra part of it. So let me change it really quick. We have here. If you have any questions so far, drop it in the chat. We're happy to cover it later. PCI score. Location. Sorry for this fine tuning in the workshop, but I tried before and previously it was working. This is the, sorry, let's read it again. So using this formula creator generators, you will be able to fully prompt what you want to achieve, and it can return you the data that you want. So I want to change this part because I don't want to use this part, maintain profile. I just want to have the PCI score. So let me generate the formula again. So in this case, the formula will be regenerated using the AI that Clay gives to you as a tool. So you can use this same feature here to create any formula that you like. It can take a few minutes to create formulas. Sorry, a few seconds to create the formula for you. But it's going to be way faster and useful to create this type of formulas, and you can start activating it right away. The idea of using these features is that you don't have to know how to code, how to create JavaScript codes to be able to to model the information in the format that you like. So this is really useful for those cases. Now it's generating the formula. I know it can take a little time, more than I expected. In some cases, it can be amazing how fast or how slow it works if you need it. I mean, some cases this is how it happens. I mean, for all of us. Okay, let's make a quick change here. I think I have that table. Let's wait a few seconds. In the meantime, do you have any questions about it? Are you using your LinkedIn enrichments so far? It's refusing. Today it's refusing to give me the data. I'm so sorry for this. We have, here's the thing. I don't want to have this. Let's change this thing manually. So far, I'm gonna change the template for you later. But you're gonna see here that, okay. So first of all, to check if someone has a delegated account, won't be active on LinkedIn. So in this case, this account won't be true here, although they have a recent activity, although they have a PCA score high enough. But for some cases here, you'll find that these traditional workers and active creators are actually outputting true, because in these cases, those are the leads that we want to activate. So we enrich only 100 leads, and from that leads, we can filter them using the same filters that you're going to use to narrow down any leads on Clay. It's really useful to use it. You can select any column that you want to filter and select what you want to have in the filters here. In this case, I'm filtering down for 100 leads. We have 47 active profiles. So check it out. I mean, 53 of those weren't active. So if you reach out to those leads, probably your connection rate will decrease a lot. And just by enriching with Prospect, you will be able to filter them out so you can increase the effectivity of the campaigns. And take in mind that in LinkedIn, you have the limitations of how many connections, how many messages you can send. So it's really important to optimize the amount of messages that you send. Lulu has a question. By any chance, is it going to be recorded? Or perhaps get the presentation notes? Yeah, Lulu, we always record these meetings. I'm going to share with you later. Probably by the end of the day or tomorrow, we'll have the recording. I'm going to send the notes and the templates for you all. So we finished the first task, that is analyzing active LinkedIn accounts that you have from that list. So as you saw, this worked really effective and easily. The next step would be to analyze possible available budget. I mean, we want to analyze if any of those companies might have higher budgets than others. So with the information that we have from Prospero, what we can do is, first of all, analyze if they are fresh in their role. That means that we can assess how many months they have been working for that company. So if we analyze how many months they have been working for that company in a score, we will be able to understand if a company have higher budget, because here we know that, for instance, this person have just recently changed jobs and is working for this new role. And when you change roles, you probably have a higher budget to spend in changing things, and you will be able to implement new processes and functions inside that new job. So that's why it's really important to give it more importance to those leads. And just by analyzing their profile, you will be able to know that, and you can tag the ones that have more budget. The other indicator that you can have is that how many roles they have. How many roles they are working for today. So, for instance, if you're targeting a list of leads that let's say 20% of them are working for more than three companies, probably that lead is not a full-time job, and probably is not a decision maker inside the company, you know? So it might be a freelancer, it might be another type of consultant, or it might be working for different companies as a fractional. So this type of roles probably won't have as high budget as an internal decision the CISO inside the company. So if they are working for, let's say this guy is working for 11 companies, and this guy is working for just one. So probably that person will have more impact. I mean, the decisions that they take will have more impact in the budget of the company than these other guys. So you can also use that data to analyze the budget of a lead. As well, you can analyze the budget taking in mind the information of the company. So if you use prospect enrichments, you will find here in the company array that you're gonna find the size of the company. You can find the description as well. But just by using formulas, you are able to know by the size if they will be able to spend more money or not. Check this out. In this formula, what we are doing is analyzing the size of the company. So if the company is from 1 to 10, probably it's a startup, so we have limited budget, most of the cases. If it have between 11 and 50 employees, probably they are in early stage and probably they have high urgency to growth, and they will start investing faster than bigger companies. From 51 employees to 200 employees, probably they have a growth stage and they need automation. So probably for our case, that might be an indicator for us to target those leads or to create personalized copy based on those needs. As well, if they are a scaling stage, probably you'll have more employees as well if a mid-target or enterprise type of companies. So in that way, you can use that data to qualify leads based on the type of companies that they are working. So you will be able to spot the ones that have more budget available. In this case, we have, let's say, 5 leads out of 100. So we can also filter them out by checking the box for the ones that have high budget. So from a list of, in this case, 16,000 leads, we haven't reached only 100 leads. And from 100 leads, we find only 5 leads that are, they are on a, they have budget and they also are active on LinkedIn. So we can use those leads to send them to a campaign. So if we want to use that information to create a personalized copy, we can use this stage to know which type of copy we can use, or you can create your own templates in an external tool and send those leads into that solution. But in this case, before sending those leads, we need to find the contact data. So Prospero have the capability to find here the email of some leads. Here we're gonna find that we have the emails here. In some cases, you won't find the email, but you want to find it has a high coverage of finding the emails, but in some cases, you won't find it, like in this case. So for those cases that you don't find the email, you can create a waterfall enrichment in Clay to, email to increase the coverage of those emails found. So you, first of all, you prioritize, in this case, if you subscribe to Prospero, you will prioritize having a more effective and efficient way to find emails, because running the API calls to Prospero will be way cheaper than using credits. So, but if you don't find the emails through Prospero, you can find the email through a waterfall, that in this case will be selecting work email, and then you can order the providers by the one that can be more cheap. So in this case, you can. I mean, we have already enriched it using Prospect, so we're gonna delete here Prospect, but you can here use the tagma, you can use ICPs and so on to find the emails of only the ones that you don't find through Prospect. So you can use this run condition formula to select the email column and mention only run if email is empty. So you're gonna find that the coverage will increase after creating this waterfall as well. Let's run it for these 5 rows. Since the first, I mean the second row doesn't have the email, it will only run for this row in particular. So here we're gonna see that for wait a bit. Okay, here we have. Oh, I didn't add the validator. Sorry for that. Here I'm gonna use, instead of find email, I'm gonna use debounce to validate it. Let's do it again. And here we can. Sorry, here we are. Okay, now we can validate the email. I have turned off the table, that's why it doesn't run in autopilot. But here we have the email of the person that Prospect didn't find it. So you can increase the coverage of the emails that you get. And the other cool feature that Prospect have it is the find mobile phone. So you can find mobile number here as well. Finding mobile numbers is going to be more expensive than other type of enrichments. So if you subscribe to an external provider, you can decrease the cost of running it. This is really important because wasting 10 credits to find one mobile phone can be expensive. So I recommend you to only find mobile phones using external API calls and only run those enrichments. Um, only run those enrichments for really qualified leads. That the ones that you spotted that are active on LinkedIn in this case, they have a qualified job as well. They have budget. So for this case, we want to call them. So in this case, let's specify that in the run conditions. So only run if we have here active profile is true, and we have the other one that is the budget index is true, and um, we want to, yeah, I think those are okay. So here we can generate the formula for that, and it's going to create a condition to run only if the active profile is true and the budget index is true as well. So now you can run this enrichment to find the mobile number of those persons. So here now you have the mobile numbers of those leads. You have the national format, the country code, and an international format as well to use it. But probably what you're gonna need as well is going to be the time zone. So in some cases, you will be able to get the time zone to call the leads in the expected time using the location that they are. So in this case, we have the lead location. So we know that they are in the state of New York, and that's why we have here in this formula here that was able to capture that state of New York, and it's gonna retrieve that the time zone that they are is EST. In other cases, we'll have a list of leads that they're gonna be from abroad. I mean, they're gonna be from Europe, APAC, LATAM, whatever. So in those cases, you will also need to have like a different formula in this case to select the best time zone so you can call the leads that in the best time as possible. So in this case, we have the time zone, and we didn't find the number of that lead casually. All right, but it doesn't matter. I mean, for our leads that you're gonna find the time zone, that you don't find the time zone, you can schedule the call to be in the expected company location as well, or you can use the same time zone as as you can use, for instance, for the states, you can use mountain time zone, and you can start calling it a time zone that is average. They're going to be active delete on any time zone in the states. So that's kind of a good practice here. But if you know the time zone, that would be better because you can call at the best time zone as possible. So now, if you want to start sending messages to those leads, first of all, you need to send those to a campaign. So uh, we strongly suggest you to use Get Sales for that, because Get Sales is a great tool to automate LinkedIn sequence in a safe way. So in that case, you will only need the LinkedIn profile. So there will be LinkedIn profile, the first name and last name in this case, to start sending those leads into that. And as well, you will need the list UID. So you can grab the list UID from going into Get Sales in this case, and grabbing it from the list that you have here, lists. And you can create a new list and grab the list here, for instance, and add it in here. So after running this, you will be starting to add those leads into a sequence, and you will be start sending messages to those leads that are active on LinkedIn, and you will increase the success rate of connecting with them because they will be active and they will have budget. So I hope that this was useful for you. So far, we have seen how you can complete an outreach to LinkedIn most active LinkedIn leads with budget as well. We're gonna get the phone number so we can call them as well in the same process, using different tools and orchestrate all that inside Clay. So you can save a lot of time by creating this type of workflows to automate your lead generation processes. And from this session, you take a way of doing that. You're going to share the template as well, how you can do it, and you can replicate the same process to qualify leads and to start automating the lead generation process. So for you guys that want to start building using Clay, you have two paths. One is to stay as you're doing it manually. Of course, you're gonna be left behind, or you can start automating and using enrichment solutions and automating tools to become a market leader. So if you want our support on that, we're happy to book a meeting with you and have an audit of what you're currently doing. So we can assess your current tech stack, we can assess your current process, and give you solutions and insights that you can implement right away, and even create a first workflow live for you guys, so you can start deploying it right away. So let us know if you want to book this call. I'm going to share with you the link as well in the chat. All right, now it's time for questions. We have 7 minutes for that. If you have any question for us or Julia, just drop it in the chat. We'll be happy to address them. And by the way, we are recording this. We're going to send you the template. We're going to send you as well the recording and the presentation. So take in mind that we always do that. And if you want to be part of the next workshops, you can subscribe to our newsletter as well, going to automaterevops.com. As well, if you want to subscribe to Prospio, I have the link here, so you can start with that with some extra credits here. Let me grab the link here for you. Here it is. We have a quiet audience today, Julia. I don't know if we weren't too fast or they are really knowledgeable. Uh, but this is not common. Most of the workshop we have a lot of questions. I really appreciate that you show up and you mentioned about what's Prospero and help us understand what is the main, I would say, North Star from you guys, that is the precision and of the data. And we're happy to keep promoting you guys because we are really satisfied with the solution. All right, we have some some comments there. All right, that'll be great. Just drop it in the chat. We will highlight it as well. Great info. Serve with double tasking between work and listening here. No worries. You just deliver with the lesson so well. All right, that's all right. All right. Thank you guys for being here. As I mentioned before, you will be receiving all the information on your email that you used to subscribe to this workshop as well. Next week we're gonna host a different one, so we try to cover different topics. If you want to cover a really specific topic, let us know so we can plan ahead and also create something for you guys. Or maybe we have already something there to share with you, and we can share it right away. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Julia. Julia, do you have any questions? Because maybe you have also a question about the workflow or all right. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Daim has an idea for next week. Okay. If available, maybe share some old workflows you have made that work successfully. Yeah, I mean, every workflow that we share have worked. That's why we share it to show what's really possible with all the power play. What do you mean specifically? You want some workflow that for lead generation? We have workflows that are useful for content creation, for instance. We have workflow for commenting. We have workflows for CRM enrichments. We have workflow for um, lead gen. Okay, lead gen. In the lead gen space, we have been chatting with Mark a lot about what's changing, and we have been seeing that um, most of the lead gen systems are built to pray and spray. Even if they are using triggers, they still pray and spraying using triggers. Like there's a lot of people. Bye, Julia. I know that you need to leave. Okay. Most of the people are doing pray and spraying with triggers. That means that they are targeting all the companies that are hiring for new positions, for instance, or they're targeting for all the companies that have receiving a funding stage recently. So, I mean, if you're still doing that, probably you are um, leaving a lot of money in the table because using triggers is not for brain spreading, it's for monitoring. And when you grab any details that give you an indicator that that lead or company will be more active, they will be more aware of who you are, they will be ahead in their buying journey process, probably you can activate different systems. So we can cover that in different workshops, but the idea here is that you take that idea in mind that is lead gen from now on gonna be more proactive and not reactive to things, but trying to understand with stage and trying to nurture the lead until they notice that something changed, and when they change, monitor them actively so you can change the type of messages that you send to the leads, but you keep nurturing them in the meantime. So yeah, I mean, we can share some other workflows as well, but yeah, take that idea in mind because everything that we create is inside a system. It's not only just a workflow. So if you have I mean, if you want to assess what you're currently doing and you need our help to assess it, just we're gonna send a link so you can book a meeting with us. We're happy to review what you're doing, Dayan. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.